Hi everyone, welcome to the intuitive card reading for the month of September 2024. Wow, we are already in oh my god, I almost said December. September. I can't wait to see what September has in store for us. What do we got going on here? Same three decks that I've used for the last few readings. Switched up the order, obviously shuffled. Same spread, and you know the drill, guys. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody that really needs to hear what the energy is going to be like for the month of September 2024. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and comments down below. Any comments are welcome. Just be kind. I would love to hear how this reading resonates with you, how this reading doesn't resonate with you, any feedback at all, etc., all down below. I always appreciate the comments, and I think that's it. All right, let's jump right into it, guys. What do we need in September? Drum, dream, and journey. Okay, so we need to start dreaming a bit more, really looking forward. This is always a really great card of looking forward, looking, saying what do we desire, what do we dream of for our future, especially I'm getting like the through the end of the year, right? We're in the last quarter of the year essentially here with September, so it's really talking about now you're pretty much getting in a place where you really need to start planning things out and focus a little bit more on your future. And what you want your journey to look like. And I see this as a really positive thing, because now we're, it almost just feels like we've been just kind of, I know for me this is true, kind of like living day by day and just trying to get through the day. I call this survival mode essentially, right? We're just trying to get through the day, staying as present as possible, but now we actually get to plan the future. So let's actually see what action needed says here. Perfect. It says co-create. So this means that we get to create a reality, right? We're co-creating. Sometimes this is actual, a little bit more grounded, where it's saying co-creating with other human beings, partnership is supported, that kind of thing. Yes, but to me, this feels like it's going more towards the universe, spirit, the divine, God, whatever you want to call it. It's saying that we're co-creating with the universe to create our reality and really start to make a plan. So I love this because these are really connected, which sometimes the need and the action need are very much meshed like that. So this is basically saying, like, how could you co-create your reality? You get to choose, like you have more choice. Like it definitely does feel like in September we have more choice. Okay, so again, kind of that feeling of getting out of survival mode. We have more options, we have more choice, and we get to decide, right? We get to feel like a little bit more in control, and that is always a positive thing. Okay, issue. So we have vampire upside down, depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic code, complaining, and codependency. Okay, this doesn't shock me too much, because on the last reading, which it was through September 1st, so this is still September energy, there was a lot of talk from spirit, from the universe, asking us to please be careful of our energy and make sure we're prioritizing it correctly, make sure that we are recharging and all that stuff. So this says just watch out for any extra energy depletions, including people. And I would actually say especially people, because this is basically saying anybody that feels like an energy vampire. It's a pretty loose definition, but I consider it anybody that really steals your energy. People that are takers all the time, people that complain all the time, people that are more narcissistic and they're always talking about themselves, etc. Okay, so we have to watch out for that, especially when it comes to people. Not necessarily, the weekly was a little bit more vague, where it's saying anything that takes your energy, watch out for. But this is also saying look out for people. Okay. Let's see what else we're having issues with. So challenge, High Priestess, harness mystic power. Okay, so we are having a challenge with, so this is a power card, so it's under challenge. So it's saying that we're having a hard time feeling empowered, getting into our power, which doesn't heed well here. Okay, so we need this. We need to take action here in creating our own reality, but something is still making us feel a little bit more, a little bit on the powerless side, where we're feeling that we can't necessarily get there, where we still feel like we have obstacles, and that's okay. But I'll tell you this, it feels like it is a perceived limitation rather than an actual limitation. I think I actually talked about that in the weekly, or maybe the week before that, where it's saying, you do have more power than you think you do, and you're going to break through it for sure. But it definitely does feel like we're having trouble finding that power. But I will say this, it almost feels like it's more towards the end of the month where we really start to harness that. But we're definitely going to have issues in the first few weeks for sure with that. So definitely the last week is going to feel more empowering, but just get through the next few weeks for sure. All right, what's actually going to change? Flexible. Okay, so we are going to be more flexible. Okay, so we've gotten this card a few times. You guys know I talk about flexibility, adaptability, resourcefulness, all that stuff, which is, in my opinion, probably the top skills you need for life. Sorry for my awkward laugh, but you know how many times I've had to be extremely adaptable, flexible, resourceful because life just comes at you. And I know a lot of you guys are like, I know exactly what you mean, because things hit you with a ton of bricks out of nowhere, and that's life, right? And we just have to deal with it. We have to be as flexible as possible. So to me, this is saying, yeah, we always need to be flexible, but it's saying this month we're being a little bit more okay. Like, I think this isn't the surprise. We'll see what's under the surprise, but I think it still will catch you by surprise how flexible you have become, how it kind of rolls off your shoulder. You know, you don't get anxious, or you don't try to resist change as much as possible. Like, you're not a good way to say it is like you're not resisting change so much. You're allowing the change to come through because you know you're flexible, you know you're adaptable, and you know you can do it. So that's definitely changing. It's more like an internal change. So you're definitely really rocking that out, basically, which is great. Okay, what do we need to focus on? Athlete upside down, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Okay, so transcending physical, including okay, so it came in upside down. So it feels like, I know this is not under issue or challenge, but it feels like an issue and another issue and challenge, and it feels like we are focusing on our handicaps. We are focusing on what we don't have. We're focusing on what we can't do or what we didn't achieve. We're making, I don't want to say we're making excuses, but we're focusing on the things that aren't working. That's a better way to put it. We're focusing on the things that aren't working. And when up here, basically Spirit is asking us to like look forward and plan forward. This might get in the way because it feels like it's a limitation because we're not necessarily seeing all the more positive things that positive things in our lives, our more positive attributes, more positive quality. We're looking at things that hold us back, and you're focusing too much on that. So I feel like a lot of you guys need to hear this is like, you guys are focusing too much on your handicaps. You're focusing on too much of what is holding you back, or what you don't have, and what I feel like there's a lot of comparing to other people as well. That will be your downfall for sure. And again, the fact that I came in upside down is basically saying you're focusing on the wrong thing. Okay, so to me that's an issue, right? Whether they're focusing on the wrong thing, especially since we're trying to move ahead, right? We're trying to think ahead. We're trying to get into our creator archetype, where we are the creator of our own life. So we are focusing on that. It's going to be really hard to break out of that. I'm not going to lie. That's why I'm saying it feels like an issue and a challenge. It can be an extension up here because we're focusing on the wrong thing. So focus instead and try to break through. I will say, I'm getting this again, I feel like the last week of September is going to be a little bit better. We're going to break through all of these things. So don't worry so much on these, okay? So don't don't focus on the negative parts of the reading here, right? And your handicaps and things like that. It's not necessarily you'll break through them, but you'll break through that mindset of focusing on that. So don't worry too much there, but it definitely does feel like you guys are going to be, a little bit on the focusing on the wrong things. And again, it feels like a breakthrough, especially towards the last week of the month, for sure. All right, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, questions also go down below. Reflect, mirror guardian, take time to reflect. Okay, well, we have a reflect card in the reflect section. Why am I not surprised by this? Okay, so basically it's just saying make sure you have time to reflect. That's basically what it's saying. It's not a specific thing. Sometimes a specific thing comes through here, but make sure you're having time for introspection and reflection on your actions, on maybe where you want to go. So just, there's not too much more to say on that, but just the fact that reflect, saying make sure to reflect, please. All right, responsibilities. Blessed. Okay, so our responsibilities are blessed is always about gratitude, about the things that you do have and the things that you have accomplished, the things you have gotten through. Your responsibility is to try to get into a gratitude mindset. It would not be a bad idea to start a gratitude list this month for sure. Makes sense after what I just said here. Okay, we have a little bit of negativity going on here. Okay, so your responsibility is to kind of reframe that negativity and have a little bit more of a gratitude type mindset. And again, like I said, I feel like it turns towards the end of the month, but try to start the gratitude list as soon as possible. And keep it going, honestly. Okay, money, finances, and career. We have scribe, preserving knowledge and information. Okay, so this is about information. Okay, so this is about recording information, making sure that you remember something, like a time capsule kind of thing. So the fact that it's under money, finances, and career, the way that I'm interpreting this is basically it's saying, don't forget. There's something going on this month with money, finances, and career where Spirit is asking you not to forget something. Oh God, how do I explain this? God, can I think of a metaphor for you guys? So this could go a couple of different ways. So this could be that there's something going on this month that you have to remember for God, please. Guys, I beg you, if this resonates with you at the time of watching this, please put it down below, because I only read the energy. I'm not even sure sometimes what Spirit is talking about, so bear with me here. But it's almost like Spirit is saying, remember what happens this month, because it's going to come in handy for the future or for the past. Like, it's going to be brought up again. Like, you're going to need to recall information, either from this month or this month you're recalling the information. Okay, here's an example that maybe I can give you to interpret this. Maybe your boss told you that you would get a raise in a year if you do X, Y, and Z, and you've done X, Y, and Z, and it's been documented that you've done X, Y, and Z, and now basically this is saying you're the scribe, you documented it. There's something about documenting what's going on, like a memory recall of some kind. So basically it's saying, and then basically you come to your boss or your manager and you say, hey, remember, you told me if I hit these goals, X, Y, and Z, that I get this raise. So basically it's saying it's going to be your best friend, and it's going to be something that you need to do. So you need to document stuff, okay, for memory recall. That's what I'm getting as far as, so it's saying preserving knowledge and information. This could also be if something inappropriate is happening. This is another metaphor I'm thinking of. Something inappropriate is happening at work, and you verbally tell someone. Spirit is asking you to write it down, document it. So basically it's saying anything that has to do with anything career, money, and finances. Could be finances as well. If somebody owes you something, if somebody wants a loan from you. Okay, so this could be so many different things. Okay, I'm trying to fit a lot of different examples into what the energy that Spirit is kind of giving me here. If someone borrows money from you, you need to put it in writing. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here that says you need to put into writing for memory recall, for coming back to it. Okay, something is, you're going to need to show documentation or something like that. So I'm spending a lot of time on this, but this one was a little tricky. But make sure that everything is documented when it comes to money, finances, and career. Again, any questions, put down below. Anything that resonates with this, down below as well, because I'd love to see how it manifests for you guys. But I'm gonna listen very carefully, just because it is coming through pretty strongly. Okay, so for me, keeping this in mind. Okay, surprise. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Okay, we got this. We got this in the last week too. That meshed into September. Enjoying growth and reap rewards. So this is basically making sure that we are seeing how far we've come, and to reward ourselves. So the fact that it's under surprise is basically saying that we are. I don't actually think it's us rewarding ourselves, but I think we are being rewarded in some type of way. I like that it's next to money, finances, and career, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It could just be the universe rewarding you in some type of way, but in some way, shape, or form, you will be rewarded for everything that you've kind of been through in the last few months, the last year, etc., etc. So a good surprise is coming through with that. Friends, let's see, thinker. Okay, so this is using your logical mind, being more practical. 44 is always foundation, so building foundation. So this is really about keeping things more logical. So having a more logical mind when it comes to your friendships, the people around you, etc., etc. Not your soul, not your heart, but using your logical mind. How do I put this? What's a good example? Let's just put it this way. Be a little bit more clear-headed when it comes to your friendships. And especially because that 44 is kind of sticking out here, because it's saying foundation. 44 is always like about foundational work, laying the foundation, etc. So this could be about not necessarily creating new friends, but building a new foundation with friends. And you want to come at that situation with a more clear-headed perspective and a clear-headed view. So basically, anytime that this really comes through, it's kind of saying like, don't necessarily listen to your heart, don't necessarily listen to your soul, but really you need to be a little bit more logical when it comes to your friend group. And this is kind of hard for me to say because I'm always about the heart and soul, right? So, but in some way, shape, or form, it's saying use a little bit more of your logic when it comes to like be a little smarter, basically. Okay, here's a metaphor, but it's kind of out there. So go help me. Just bear with me is what I'm trying to say. You have a friend that is asking you to, let's go as far as to say, do something that feels wrong to you. You know, your heart says that you really want to help them out, but your head is saying, no, this is going to get me in a lot of trouble. This doesn't make any logical sense. So you go with more of the logical thing. That's a really terrible example. You guys know I'm not really great at the examples, but again, guys, down below, let me know how this manifests for you. But basically, it's asking you to use more of your logical mind when it comes to your friend groups. Okay. Romantic connection, we have lover. Oh, what a great card for this. Great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Okay, so I was thinking of another metaphor here, but I'm not gonna bore you guys with my metaphors. You guys tell me how it manifests for you down below, okay? I won't even try again, trust me. Okay, so great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Amazing. So lover, right side up, under romantic connection, guys, put 2 and 2 together. It's a very spicy time between you and your significant other. If you're dating, it also looks great as well. Lots of love, lots of romance, lots of attraction, lots of all of that good stuff, lots of loving going on. And there's nothing too much more I can say about that. Guys, put the pieces together. So it's a really great month for lovers. Okay, important. Autumn, release the old and rest. Look what we have going into September, autumn. Release the old and rest. Okay, so we have more rest energy. We got the recharge. And we got the rewards card here. So we have, you know, for me, it feels like similar type energy. So basically it's saying it's important that we release the old and we take a break, not necessarily going into the new, but getting ready for the new. So it's important for some downtime. Not too much more I can say about that. Health and wellness, we have imagine. Okay, so we have more planning for the future. Okay, so under health and wellness, so you can be on a spiritual journey. You can be going through a spiritual awakening. You could be going through a physical health issue like I am. You could be going through a mental health issue, which I know a lot of us, you can be going through those two things I just mentioned and going through this at the same time. So, but this means that we are feeling better and we're able to visualize, because that's what imagine is. It's really about visualization, and we're able to see outside of what we've been in survival mode about. Right? So it's saying that we get to actually plan our future. We actually get to see ahead. We actually get to see a future, and we can actually start to manifest that. And we can actually feel, start to really move out of that survival mode and really start to see what our desires are. So that's really great. That goes along with the drum, dream, and journey. So that's really what it's all about. So we really need to start planning. Okay? I always, and even like if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur or whatever, usually in the last quarter, in Q4, you guys are already planning for the new year. So it's kind of like that with your life in general, right? And maybe you do own a business and that resonates with you that way. So it's talking about like, yeah, now you can, you're in a place where you can start really looking ahead, and that's really amazing. And I love that we have 2 cards, really 3 cards about that. So it's really coming through pretty strongly. Okay, overall outcome. We have gossip, shadow thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Okay, so it's interesting that's coming under overall outcome. So it definitely does feel like, how do I say this? There's something going on here. Let's just say this. I would be careful with who you share. So like I mentioned, we have a lot of things and cards talking about looking into the future. I would just be careful who you share your goals with and your dreams with and your and where you want to be going with, because the gossip in the upside down is really about betraying confidences, people talking about you behind your back, chit chat, etc. So the fact that it's under overall outcome, to me, how I'm connecting all of this is Spirit is asking you to do this because it's a personal journey that you're going on, and you don't necessarily need to hear any outside voices about what you're doing, because something tells me what you want to be doing and what your future holds is really a more personal thing. And hopefully I'm making sense when I'm trying to talk about this, but you don't necessarily need to include other people, because it definitely does feel like so besides the lover, okay, so I would say, yeah, your romantic partner is probably a good person to share this stuff with, and it's okay. But it definitely does feel like other people around you. With this friends card here with the logical, again, logical is not a negative thing, but the fact that Spirit is asking us to think a little bit more logically is very interesting, which means you kind of have to me, it kind of just feels like you have your guard up a little bit here. We have the issue with the energy vampires, and like I said, it definitely feels like a person. It feels like people. So people are going to be draining your energy here. And then we have the gossip card here upside down. So to me, it's interesting. It's kind of like a triangle here, but I'm getting stuff around. You don't necessarily have to tell everybody your every move. Maybe this here too, with the logic here, is that maybe your friends think a little bit more logically, and you're really dreaming bigger, right? Like I would say this is actually especially for anybody that has bigger dreams, and this is not bad. It's not saying that your friends are not supportive of you and not, they don't love you or anything like that. It's just when you have bigger dreams and you're planning for the future, it's a personal journey, and they don't necessarily have to be involved, especially friends, family, I would say. And again, the romantic connection seems really great. So if you're, if you're in a, a partnership, I think it would be okay to share that thing with them, or maybe it's a joint goal. Maybe you have you and your significant other had goals of starting a family, moving, etc. But it definitely does feel like the gossip coming in the shadow. It's not a great feeling. I'm not going to lie to you guys here, where it just feels like you don't necessarily need to hear outside gossiping about you because you have bigger dreams, or your goals are ridiculous or whatever. And again, I don't feel like it's because people don't like you. It's just that sometimes I feel like friends and family might be a little bit small-minded this month. And so it's just basically saying, Spirit is saying, like, just be careful who you share this stuff with. Like, this is the big month for thinking about the future, but you don't necessarily have to tell everybody your every move. And that's what I feel like is coming through with this. But again, this energy here, this energy with the Vampire, this energy with the Thinker card, it just feels like you don't necessarily need to be discussing everything that's kind of going on, or every dream that you have with other people. So keep that in mind, because it definitely does feel like this month is, do I want to say neutral? I feel like a lot of great things are happening. Like, we're 3 cards talking about you're finally able to plan the future. Love it. Okay. Love it. And a lot of other positive cards. So we did have a lot of stuff coming in the shadow. Like I mentioned, but I just love that co-create card, right? And we really need to take action on that and creating our own reality. So things are changing in that way. But let's just call this month neutral. But I love it. Like, I don't, again, it's really hard sometimes to say whether things are good or bad. It just is. But just remember that last thing, because it did come in overall outcome, and it is coming through pretty strong. So just remember that some things are best kept to self, especially when it comes to your goals and what you want your future to look like. So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully it resonates with you guys. Okay, guys, happy September. What I like to do is watch it in the beginning of September, watch it in the middle of September, watch it towards the end of September to see what manifested and how. And I would love, love, love for you guys, again, to put it down below and see how it resonated throughout the month. That would be great. If not, just watching is great, but also hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. I will see you guys for the weeklies, and then I'll see you in 4 weeks for October reading. But have a lovely, lovely September, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye guys.